Do what's right. Stay in the fight. Okay. This life is a fight. Getting to the money is a fight. But we're going to talk about that in another video. In today's video, we're just going to talk about generally fighting, valiantly exerting yourself to get to a certain goal. Okay. This channel exists to help you, whoever's watching it, to become self-employed, never have to go work at a W-2 job again. Okay. To have the life that you want, the life that you create with your mind and with your motives to help people. Okay, but on today's episode, we're going to talk about how this life is a fight. Okay, if you're going to get what you want in life, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take tension, and it's going to take pressure, and that means a fight. Okay, you're in armed warfare against this world, against your doubts. Okay, if you can overcome your doubts, you can overcome other people's bullshit. If you can overcome the world system trying to enslave you, you'll make progress. And these are not the only three things you're going to fight. You're going to fight with a lot of stuff. You're going to fight with people over how much they should pay you. You're going to fight with people about how to do things. You're going to fight with people on how to view things. You're going to fight with people on, hey, what's the best course of action? You're going to fight with people about whether they need you or not, your value. Okay, and people are always going to test your value. The point of this video is to tell you to never give up. If you want to make progress, stay in the fight. And when do you fight? When something is not right. That is a key indicator. That is a green light to fight. If you're like, hey, this person was disrespectful, they shouldn't have done that, fight. Okay, I had to fight for a bonus. Not really fight, but I had to fight for respect at my job, one of the clients, about a week ago. And you got to fight. You got to fight to do what's right when your body's like, hey, just do what's easier. And you like, no, I got to fight to study and get to another place. I want to get to a better place. You've got to fight. You got to fight to do, your workouts. Okay, this life is a fight, but guess what? On the other side of that fight is what you want. Okay? On the other side of that mountain is everything you want. On the other side of hard, everything you want is on the other side of hard. If you're taking notes, watching these videos, everything that you want is on the other side of hard. Okay? And fighting is hard. It is easy to give up, to just be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this shit anymore. It's exhausting. I'm not making any progress. This just isn't for me. You start to feel that way. But that's a lie. Your feelings are a lie oftentimes. This is why you should not trust them. They are a lie. Okay, one day they're up and one day they're down. Okay? So fight, push, pull, scream if you got to. Endure, and you'll get what you want. There's a quote out there that says, dream, suffer, succeed. Suffer while you're in the fight, fighting for a raise, fighting for someone to take your ideas, fighting for someone to give you a chance, fighting to make things beautiful, fighting against the tide of conformity, fighting against mediocrity everywhere. You've got to fight to get where you want. And where does the fight come from? Where does that bite come from? It comes from your desire to do what's right. When you see something that's wrong and you're like, hey, no, hell no. When somebody overcharges you for something, you're like, you know it ain't this much money. And you're like, oh, okay. A lot of times people will acquiesce when you fight because they expect you to just take what they want. You have got to fight for your right to move forward in life. Okay? And it's only your right if you fight for it. Because this world will try to step on you, like that saying in that Sylvester Stallone. This world will beat you to your knees if you let it. You've got to fight. And if you don't fight, you'll be among those cold, timid souls who never got what they wanted. Okay, and honestly, if you're working a salary job and you just accept your salary, you have stopped fighting. The people that are in the fight are the ones that make the money. Entrepreneurs. If you have just accepted salary, you have basically surrendered to life. and surrender to mediocrity. That is the curse of working. That's the curse of comfortable money, is that, hey, here's 200,000. You kind of have given up. Instead of pushing forward, you've accepted mediocrity in your life, and then slowly it'll erode you on the inside. Okay. And guess what? God doesn't want that for you. He wants to constantly grow and go up. That's why you should have your own business. Did you know there's a verse in the Bible that says, don't be an employee? It's 1 Corinthians 7:23. Go read it for yourself. It says, don't be an employee. Okay, because employees are a life of sadness and misery and mediocrity. Okay. And, you want better for yourself. And so go out there and just be different. Okay. But understand that you have got to fight to get what you want. And when do you fight? When something isn't right. When you feel like no one's paying attention to you, fight back. When you feel like some report that you submitted to someone, they're like, oh, this is wrong. No, fight back. I did taxes for someone and the IRS was like, oh, this is you have to pay way more taxes than you need. I was like, no, we're not doing that. You fight because it ain't right. Okay. So you fight. When do you fight? When it's not right. When you don't feel right in life, like I'm not in the right place, you have to fight. Okay. Because if you don't fight, they'll take over and you will be very sad. Okay. So keep that in mind. Fight, fight, fight. Fight. Do it. If you want to make progress, you have to fight. Okay.